I'm lost in darkness, searching for light. Every step forward feels like a fight. Shadows of doubt creep in my mind, but I refuse to surrender. I must find a way to rise above the pain, to overcome, to break the chains. My existence is a test of will. I won't be broken, I'll stand still. The weight of the world crushes me down. Fear and uncertainty all around. But I deep find inner strength to face the trials length by length. A way to rise above the pain, to overcome, to break the chains. My existence is a test of will. I won't be broken, I'll stand still. Through every storm, I'll find my way. Through every night, a brighter day. I'll rise from ashes like a phoenix born. My spirit unbroken, my heart reborn.
Greetings and salutations, everyone, and welcome to the Dirt Sheet Radio Raw post-show rewind for November the 11th, 2024. I am Tyler, the Pro Wrestling Hipster. This is little Molly Holly. Here with me to my left.
How's it going, guys? As always, it's Caesar here hanging out with these two gentlemen, and of course, Monday Night Molly, sitting down talking about pro wrestling on WWE Raw. And as always, the third man in the group is
CJ Carter. We don't know who the fifth man is for either Team OG Bloodline or Bloodline 2.0, but we know that the third man is here. This is the first time we've actually had all three of us on the show in a while.
It has been a very long time. Far too long, and it's great. It's great to have them back together. Yeah, we don't know who the fifth man is, but we do know that we have all three of us here tonight. Four, if you count Molly here. But I don't think Molly should be stepping in the ring. He's going to be our outside enforcement for sure. But, guys...
If we're counting Molly as four, then we at least got to shout out John as our fifth man here, working behind the scenes to make sure that this show happens.
He's our wise man. He's the wise man. Johnny Dirt Sheet's the wise man of Dirt Sheet Radio.
So you heard it here. Paul Heyman is the OG Bloodline's fifth man, confirmed.
First heard on Dirt Sheet Radio. But guys, we're here on Monday Night Raw. We have got a lot to cover. But before we can get into tonight's proceedings, got to give that ever-important shout-out to our partner on the web, comicbookclick.com. That is comicbookclick.com/Dirt Sheet Radio for all of your pop culture, comic book, professional wrestling, entertainment needs, all in one convenient location. Make it your homepage. Check it out multiple times a day, just like we do. Not because we're legally obligated, but because we love to do it. And folks, while you're there, check out our sponsor, NordVPN, where if you sign up for 1 full year of NordVPN service, you can get yourself 72% off that first month. And also, before we get into tonight, big shout out to Sasuke Creations for Lore of the Fighter Rise, the song you heard rocking us into tonight's show. Loving having these songs on here. Gets me all revved up and juiced. It's like 8 cups of coffee at once, guys. So
that's easy.
Hopefully, NXT never goes to 3 hours.
Yeah,
and
hell no.
and Raw. While I think when it goes back to Netflix, it'll probably push closer to
Hell,
3.
let's
but
make
I'm
it
really
4
hoping...
hours all around it.
No, stop it! Don't put that in the universe. The
No,
WWE
NXT will
universe.
stay to Raw. Will have a 6-hour pre-show. We'll call it the Ultimate Super Show.
Raw never ends.
Hey, hang on. 6-hour pre-show with a 9-hour edition of Raw, followed by a 7-hour post-show. It's
It
perfect.
goes into the
It's
next show, which is NXT the next even. Holy crap!
Lordy Almighty, it never stops. It never stops.
hard out at 2 hours for NXT.
Yes, always. But yeah, I do hope when Raw goes to Netflix, I'd like to see them use a kind of a variance on that. Like, if you need the show to be 2.5 hours, go 2.5 hours. If it only needs to be 2:12, just do 2:12.
Yeah, it's exactly what they should do.
I think as far as the announcement, though, like, they haven't announced SmackDown officially moving to 3 hours yet.
Let's keep it that way. That's not.
Yeah.
Well, but that is an interesting point, because at what point are they going to announce it?
Never.
Caesar,
I like the 2
at
hours
least humor me.
Okay, fine. Speak.
I mean, just as far as if there is a plan, even, like, because until they actually announce something, it's all speculation.
Right.
So, is there even a plan to move or to add an additional hour to SmackDown?
Honestly, what they should do is like how AEW does it. They have the 2-hour time frame, and they go, "We have some overrun. It could be 5 minutes, it could be 20 minutes, it could be half an hour of overrun." That's what they could do.
Well, and I'm fine with overrun, but does SmackDown, can it use a third hour? I think it could. I think that the Raw product hasn't been as good since it's been at 2 hours. I think they've managed to adjust to doing a 3-hour show that's no longer getting the staff as burnt out. So I think that if they do the same for SmackDown, then that's just more opportunity to properly develop the stories that they're telling on Fridays.
I mean, USA would probably want that third hour back. They were the ones that always pressured WWE to have Raw at 3 hours. That was a USA decision, not a WWE decision. So I wouldn't be surprised at all if USA themselves is like, look, we're kind of going to require this of you.
Makes sense.
But I mean, what happens when, Netflix and USA are bidding for the same wrestlers on those shows? We have a roster split. And Netflix has already made their intention that they want Cody. They want Roman Reigns over there. Like, so what do you do?
Well, and it's interesting, that point specifically, because it really is the most accurate use of new, like, the streaming services versus traditional television. Obviously the move is eventually going to be consolidating all of WWE programming on Netflix. And to be fair, I don't know why they didn't just do that in the first place. Instead of going to the CW and instead of moving SmackDown to USA, why wouldn't they have just pushed up the negotiation on the Netflix deal to have those shows on Netflix and then adding Raw in January?
Because that would have been smart.
My guess is an eggs in one basket thing. Like, the Netflix thing is probably going to work, but there's a chance that it doesn't. And if everything was siloed in one place and it tanked, that could really hurt the company as a whole.
Yeah.
All right, fair enough.
My only guess is a reason on that. But hey, y'all, this is what happens, by the way, when all three of us don't do a show together for this long. We start with an incredible sidebar. But
whatever.
Let's hop into tonight's program. Let's get into the main event here tonight. As I said in our little pre-show discussion here, this main event, Bianca Belair and Jade Cargill defending their tag championships against Liv Morgan and Raquel Rodriguez. This was as overbooked as an episode of Thunder. This had too much going. What was the difference? The difference
2024 versus 2002.
Yeah, I didn't have Tony Schiavone yelling in my ear that this was still the greatest night in wrestling. But yeah, guys, Jaden Belair, I think, I'm not going to say predictably. I actually thought there was a chance they would pop this onto Raquel and Liv just for, the sake of getting more heat on them for that. But Jaden Belair retained the title here. Jelaire. Guys, this was a cluster of a match. What happened? Caesar didn't even know the show ended.
I'm serious. I was eating dinner and watching the show, and all of a sudden they had their arms in the air and shit like that, and I was like, cool. And then Sam Roberts shows up, and they're doing all the other extra crap on TV, so I'm like, what is this?
Well, and I forgot that it was even the main event because I know they talked about it at the top of the show, but I don't remember other than a segment here and there, but I don't know that it had the same amount of hype that a regular main event of Raw usually gets.
Is it just me, or ever since they switched to the 2-hour format, that every episode feels like they're speed running? I
feel like they have to. They just haven't figured out the 2-hour format for Raw.
Less is
wild
more.
Because NXT has it down. NXT
has it totally down.
2 hours of television. It's fantastic. They could really just use that as the mod. Hell,
Sean,
they did 2-hour Raws for decades.
Decades? 2, 3?
2, give or take.
That NXT last week, that was a 2-hour phenomenon. I'm just saying that now. That was great.
It's they really just could have modeled it after that. But yeah, these shows have felt a little bit rushed. They haven't felt as rushed as that first couple 2-hour Raws.
That was brutal.
They have adjusted a bit.
They were still standing there. Seth walks out. What the hell?
It really does feel like they're kind of biding their time for Netflix to start up, though. They're not making any more adjustments than they've already made.
Exactly.
Also,
but what about the match itself? How'd you guys feel about the match, other than it being incredibly overbooked and a lot going on?
Overbooked, Simon. That's the no. Anyway, we're spinning it. So, Bianca gets the pin on Liv. Future world title shot?
Potentially.
I thought Raquel was going to get the pin because, trying to keep Liv as the heel, big heat, all that jazz. So that kind of threw me. Besides the other 35 bodies that were in there.
That would be a logical reason to do that, so they can kind of point to that maybe, I don't know, a couple months down the road.
Yeah, I was also pretty surprised that Liv was the one taking the pin instead of Raquel. I also thought they were just going to say, okay, we'll put the title on Liv and Raquel, because Liv is so over as a heel right now. This is easily the best version of Liv Morgan that we've seen so far.
That's all we need. That's all we need, you guys. Let's just give Judgment Day another set of belts, and those belts fade into the background. Let's just keep going.
Oh, I have some thoughts on Judgment Day, but we'll talk about that later.
No, I'm in the same boat as you, but I don't know. That didn't feel like a main event. That felt like the top, the last half hour. The 9:30 slot, the 9 o'clock slot. It
really did. It felt like what would have happened if it was a 3-hour Raw. Caesar, you also did jokingly say a lot in the chat tonight. Is it back to 3 hours? Is there a third hour happening?
I couldn't tell the difference.
Well, it doesn't help that Sportsnet still advertises it as a 3-hour show.
Not to mention
Canada.
Not to mention, I have this beef right now. CJ might too. I was trying to watch the first 15, during the Gunther Damian promo. And I would turn it on, error, reset, error, close, restart, error. I'm like, why am I paying for this shit?
Yeah, it did that to me
It's only with Raw.
Really?
NXT behaves. No, here we go. NXT behaves. SmackDown, when I watch it, behaves. PLEs behaves. And hockey, it behaves. But God forbid I put on Raw.
It better behave for hockey. You'd have a national emergency on your hands.
Yeah. No, I'd break some doors and cut some throats if I had to.
Crazy!
We're Canadian. We like our hockey.
Don't loop me in with that sentiment.
I said Canadian. I didn't say all of us. But anyways, it's just Raw. So I'm a little concerned, Sportsnet. If you see this, Sportsnet, we got to talk. But,
Oh, they're not watching.
They're not we're too
No,
popular.
they're like, we're already
No,
losing to Netflix. We don't care. I actually got an email the other day about my subscription.
Oh, I don't want to talk about subscriptions right now. Damn Spotify. I mean, sorry, is that allowed?
They don't sponsor us. Say whatever you want to them about it. But anything else on the main event tonight?
When was that? I missed it.
This feels like it was setting up for the women's War Games match.
Yes, it
No,
really
did it?
did.
It felt like a cluster. You're
Well,
bored. You're bored. Let's go.
No, I mean, you look at it, because, I mean, you have the four faces standing tall, and you know on the outside is Liv Morgan, Raquel Rodriguez, Nia Jax, Tiffany Stratton. That's a 4-on-4 War Games match, if I've ever seen it.
Yeah.
Yeah, and they do have to start laying the groundwork for something. We've only got a few weeks till, or a couple weeks till Survivor Series.
If we get into like actual storytelling wrestling wise, they have like a week or two. That's it. Not like physical calendar.
Well, I kind of figure we're going to have much more crossover right now between Raw.
Yeah, they may announce it on Friday.
I could see that. That makes sense. But 4-on-4, let's just figure it out because, everyone's just going everywhere.
Yeah, it was a cluster. It really was.
Mega cluster.
Yeah, but hey, you know what? That's gonna we'll hop around from there to the start of tonight's show. Raw came to us live this evening from Grand Rapids, Michigan. What was the name of the arena? I know I wrote that down. The Van Andel Arena in Grand Rapids, Michigan. What? Van Andel. I don't know if I'm saying that right. Van Andel. Vandal. It's not Van Andel. It's two words. It's Van Andel. My apologies to the residents of Michigan. All right. For maybe effing that up. I'm not sure.
for having to live in Michigan. I'm kidding.
Oh no! Now here's the thing. Being as I don't have a stake in the whole like OSU thing. I live in Columbus, guys. I grew up in West Virginia. I don't follow college football. Sorry, but like OSU is like a religion here, and the OSU Michigan feud is like it's blood around here. Like it is nasty. So I'm used to hearing shit between Michigan and Ohio. So you know, if they hear in Ohio and say something bad about them, they don't really.
No
care.
way. Me too. I heard about that too.
But Michigan.
What was the arena called again?
Van Andel, Vandal Savage,
Van Dam,
Van Andel Arena. There we go. All right,
I'm out.
You're
All right, good talking to you.
Yeah, night.
Peace be with you, sir. Peace be with you. But the show opened tonight with Joey Test running down the show as he typically does as the wrestlers are making their way into the arena. Joey Test.
Is there a hand sign for that? Like
Joey, I don't know. I'll probably end up doing something like other things.
Joey Test.
Aren't those girls a little old?
One of them's married to Shawn Michaels.
On purpose?
Really?
Yes, on purpose. Yeah, Whisper. He married. Wait, was he married Whisper? I don't know. I can't remember which. Rebecca's the name. Yeah, but it's
Rebecca.
Oh, I didn't know she was a Nitro girl.
Me neither.
Yeah, he said that this is when he was like his first retirement. When he was, when his back was all jacked up. He said he was watching Nitro from home. She did some dance with a chair. He thought it was like the hottest thing he'd ever seen. So he called Kevin Nash. And he's like, "Hey, who is this chick?" and that was it. And apparently she almost got fired because he sent her a T-shirt and she was walking around backstage wearing a Shawn Michaels shirt. And Eric Bischoff was not happy about it.
Damn it, Bischoff.
Yeah, that's how severe. People that didn't live through it. That's how severe that Monday Night War was. That Bischoff was afraid of a Nitro girl defecting to Raw. That's how severe that was. But
the Monday Night Girls? Huh.
The Monday Night Girls, yeah. But the show proper opened with the Ring General, Gunther, making his way to the ring. And he wasn't out there too long before he brought up Damian Priest, and Damian Priest made his way down to the ring. Guys, I don't know if I'm speaking out of turn here on this promo, but I think Damian Priest kind of smoked it tonight.
That's what
Like,
the internet
definitely.
is saying too.
Like he was. This is the Damian Priest that he was like leaning into before he lost the world title. I'm sure y'all remember being all pissed off, saying like they finally made him interesting, and he's going to drop.
He's gonna lose. Yep.
But he's got that character back. Like he's
It's
got
what he needs.
hot baby face. Like he's got that energy, that big baby face energy, and he brought it on the mic tonight. And I like Gunther's portrayal. This is the first time we've seen Gunther kind of play shaken up about something, and he does look shaken and possibly a bit stirred. But I'll pull back here, gentlemen. What did you think of this opening segment? How Damian Priest came across, how Gunther came across, and then we'll get to the whole Luther Kaiser part of it.
I'll let you take this first, CJ.
I thought this this segment was awesome for a couple of reasons. One, Tyler, like you said, Damian Priest's promo was incredible tonight. Like this was a different, Damian Priest turned up to 11 basically. And the other reason is I really am digging the story they're telling with Gunther. This sort of shaken, unstable sort of portrayal since his loss to Cody Rhodes. And his interactions with Ludwig Kaiser, that's another really good story I'm invested in right now. But this was very good, a very good way to kick off the show tonight.
Honestly, I can't remember exactly when you said it, but I do agree. This is the Damian that we needed like 4 months ago, maybe 6 months ago. And it's feeling, you didn't see this now, you said it before, but it's feeling very organic, which, holy crap, if they had that before, instead of him being like, acknowledge El Campeon and all that shit.
Do you think he's a more natural babyface than a heel?
I think he's more natural when they actually let him like spread his wings.
Well,
But do you think his like default setting, like him just being him, do you think he's more natural as a good guy? Because he seems like a pretty cool dude. Like Damian Priest, like legitimately seems like a guy that you'd like want to just hang out with, you know? Like he seems like a pretty cool guy. But like I'm not gonna say he didn't work well as a heel, but like he works better in this role.
Yeah,
Maybe it's the timing.
I think it's kind of a recency thing. Like I remember when he turned heel after losing the United States Championship, and he kind of worked better as that kind of heel. Whereas when he aligned with the Judgment Day, I think that's where it kind of took him a little bit out of his comfort zone. So then coming back to work as a babyface, it does feel more natural to him. But, hopefully he gets a good run as a face before they decide to turn him again.
And then the other thing you gotta wonder is like, could it be the people he works with? Like, for example, with him and Gunther, the way they're working together, does that maybe compliment him more and also compliment Gunther as like him being the baby face and Gunther being the mega heel? So that's the other thing.
I think anything Gunther has touched since his main roster run has essentially turned to gold. No pun intended, but actually literally.
Oh, no, I 100% agree with that one.
Yeah, I think if anybody can elevate Damian Priest higher than he is, it's Gunther. It's this program.
Yeah. It's giving him a good, solid heel to work off of, you know.
But at the same time, I think this is also going to lead to Gunther coming back badder than ever. I think this will be just like a momentary blip where it's like, hey, I lost my confidence. Now I'm back to it.
He's
I think
babysitting too.
it's what, sorry?
And he's babysitting right now too.
Ludwig?
With Kaiser.
He's babysitting.
Yeah.
Ludwig?
And that's another story that I'm interested in. And all to really, not to belabor the point of it, but Tyler, you usually have timings for matches. Did you happen to clock a timing for this segment?
I did not get a segment time.
Okay.
Should be like 15 minutes.
So,
for
okay,
sure.
so I can estimate it here because I know that the first match started 20
After,
at,
like,
at 8:23. So if you subtract the commercial break, like this opening segment probably went like 14 minutes.
Yeah, you may as well say that
Okay.
because it went to commercial break after, if I'm not
Yeah.
mistaken.
It probably went about 14, 15, and then you
That's-
factor in that there was a commercial break, and then they had like a oh gosh, I think there was like a little video package.
That's what they've been doing with Raw is they'll do the intro segment, they'll go for like a small break, come back from the break, do like a video pack or something like that, and then go to the first match. But before they go for commercial, they sometimes do like the first set of wrestlers entrances, then go for the break.
Right.
So
Well, okay, so let's say 15 minutes for this
Yeah.
segment. You're essentially telling 3 stories in the span of that 15 minutes. So the fact that they're able to do that to that degree really is phenomenal storytelling. I love to see it.
I'll
Yeah,
fix
and-
the rest.
It really does. They're accomplishing a lot in a short span on something like that, which is something we typically praise NXT for. Raw used to not have to do that, but yeah, they're
Yeah.
all in now. Yeah, but guys, anything else on that opening segment tonight?
Just waiting for the match.
Yeah, Survivor Series coming up November 30th. Oh my gosh, that's my wife's birthday.
Oh,
Hey, you know,
so Tyler's gonna have to sit out on the rewind.
yeah. Look,
Yeah,
me and CJ got this.
gosh, she would probably still encourage me to do it.
She's sitting behind the camera, just staring at you. Like,
Just eating cheesecake. She's very
no, she's not
happy.
eating
It's
cheesecake.
"Give her
She's just watching.
It'll be fine. Actually, probably pumpkin pie. She's a pumpkin pie gal. But,
Instead of a romantic dinner,
hold
it's a
on,
romantic lunch.
Let's just ask the question right now, CJ. If she's behind the camera, blink twice. He didn't blink. What's that mean?
I'm thinking over. Oh gosh. But now I actually know what day of the week her birthday was. I didn't know it was a Saturday till just now. So now I do.
That's a whole episode in itself. I know how Tyler makes time for the show and for his wife's birthday.
We'll figure out how that happens.
We're taking bets.
To see if I am alive the day after. But
I didn't go that far. Damn.
no, we have. People think this is weird, but like we've literally never thought about anything once ever. So
Oh, that's great. That's great.
a double taping. I know nothing of a
I
double
saw.
taping.
Actually, I did see on the socials.
John.
Yes, they did tape next week's episode of Raw now, and so
Right
they
now.
revealed the 5th member of the other Bloodline team. So be careful with that spoiler out there if you care
It's
about
actually CJ.
having a reason to watch Raw.
He's
Next
not sick.
week.
It's actually
Hey, John. There's always a reason to watch Raw. And so you can watch the Dirt Sheet Radio post-show
I was
rewind.
just gonna get to that.
Exactly. Actually, you shouldn't watch Raw. You should just watch the rewind instead. It'll be more entertaining.
It will be.
Exactly.
entertaining.
Often.
We
Well,
don't have commercial breaks.
Hey, no. The top reason
The
We have
commentary is much better.
we have Molly.
We do have
Mike
Ron
wants
doesn't.
to know. Mike wants to know where you guys are from. He wants you to represent your set.
Exact location.
No, Caesar. No,
Sections
Caesar.
of
Bad
spring.
Caesar.
Don't dox yourself again, man. You've already had
God
this
damn it.
95. I'm going for 97.
He's
times.
gonna get himself swatted.
I
Woo!
in parts unknown Ohio. That's the
Rep your
Columbus
set.
area. 614.
Tyler's got like gang signs.
That's a real place. He's not kidding.
I am from Canada.
You could have just said like mid or something like that. I'm just gonna say I'm from Western Canada.
Yeah, I'm from the province of Manitoba.
That's technically mid, but
Yep, middle of the country, and it's also fairly.
I'd make a Canadian joke, but I think only you'd get it, CJ.
Well, we have Canadian.
No, do you want me to make the joke?
Yeah, well, yeah.
Okay, technically, you're from Central Canada because as you get to Ontario, there's a gap from Ontario to the unknown part all the way to the islands. If you catch my drift, remember that terrible Canada?
I gotta apologize. I completely zoned out while you were talking. I was
Long
trying to
story
pay
short-
attention, and I just completely zoned
how-
out. I
how our-
apologize.
How the one province of our Canadian land is not considering themselves part of us.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
the West Coast secession.
Oh, I love when I tell terrible jokes and they
Okay.
go over fast.
We're going to put a pin on that because I need to hear about
Wait.
politics at some point. You have a secession movement in
Well,
Canada.
There's a civil war.
No.
Basically, there's
Is
a
Quebec
West Coast
coming for you?
movement. There's a West Coast movement to secede from Canada.
There's
Be their
like,
own.
Is it like really popular?
it's like from
I don't know if it even still exists, and I just hang on. I need to research this.
Let's just put it,
No,
let's just
no,
put it
it's
this
okay.
way.
Well, okay, not research. I need to find a link that will explain it better than I can.
Let's
There's a,
let's just put
it's
it this
just-
way.
we've been trying to get rid of a few states here too, and I was just wondering how you guys get it going. We can start the process here.
What is the full
All
process?
paperwork has to be filed.
Cut some of the edge ones off. It's easier.
What I was gonna say was we've got BC to Manitoba where CJ is, and then there's just Toronto, and then there's Quebec over. Or sorry, as we call it, Toronto.
Toronto, the
Yeah.
six.
We don't say the T. It's weird.
The first
I
T
don't
or
get
the second T.
it. Yes.
Toronto.
Toronto.
Just call it the six. That's the cool. It's the six. All right, this got way too Canadian for most of our viewers,
Okay, buddy.
and I'm not even from Canada. I've watched a lot of Kids in the Hall growing up, so yeah.
If you don't know what that is, then
It's a great show. If you haven't watched it, yet.
oh, the original one. The original.
I didn't watch the rehash. But we're
I
gonna get
didn't
back
know
into
that.
Raw now because that's why people are
The
watching.
damaged Curdle and
We just covered Canadian Civil War and it's great.
dabbled.
This has
We
been great.
dabbled. And that's
We
Molly.
dabbled in
mind you.
Canadian Civil War. And Molly is right there.
I always got to give Molly a shout out for no reason.
She's Molly. That's the reason. But
Well, there's some viewers who don't know.
from the opening segment, we hopped back. Oh, near Toronto. Oh,
Hey,
West
shout out
Ontario.
Ontario.
Let's go.
Heading for Elimination Chamber in March.
Thanks, buddy. Good to see you from downtown Canada.
Just got one road. Just got one road. Backstage, Kathy Kelly was
This is a joke
interviewing
we do.
Io Sky and Kairi Sane. She congratulated them on being the #1 contenders. And in walked a returning Dakota Kai. Dakota Kai's back, everybody.
Yeah, for
And,
how long though?
Oh, don't be mean.
I gotta be that guy for 2 seconds. It's
Okay,
cool to see
2
her back.
seconds.
It's cool to see her back, but it's like, please stay. Please don't disappear. So I'm
Yeah,
saying-
that's how I am with like Cora Jade right now.
Oh.
That would make me-
Yeah.
I'm worried.
No, I
Like,
don't see
back,
Cora
I'm like,
Jade disappearing anytime soon. I don't see
Well, it's kind of the same thing with Sol Ruka and
Alliance.
But
Nikita
Sol-
Lyons. Yes,
but Sol Ruka's jumping between 2 shows, is she not?
she has been. I think been on Main Event lately.
No, like I'm talking about
And she
TNA.
was just on. Yeah, I was gonna say she was on an episode of Impact recently.
And then Nikita, that one tweet. Whoa.
The throat chakra thing. Yeah, she explained it. She explained it.
That's so-
y'all are like your mind's living in the gutter. Like she explained it very succinctly. And
No, the gutter's actually like 4 blocks from my house, so I'm safe.
Gutter ball, guys. So after that segment, before the match, we had a couple quick segments there. We had a video package. It is Veterans Day here in the United States, so it was a
Remembrance Day here in Canada.
Yeah, Remembrance Day. Same thing. Well, now is it the same day? Now is Remembrance Day for active like living veterans, or is it for men and women that have died in like the line of duty?
I would just
Yes.
Yeah, I was gonna say. I would say if you've served at any forum,
I just look at like we have Memorial Day in the States, and then we also have Veterans Day, and it's kind of a different thing. But school,
Right.
They had school today, though. Did you guys have school? Was school open?
Oh
again?
yeah, me and DJ had arts and crafts, and then
I didn't
hockey
mean
after.
you. I didn't mean you jackass.
No, you
No,
you look at me and
it's a
CJ.
federal holiday.
Okay. All right.
I had a paid day off today, so I'm happy.
Oh well, there you go.
Nice.
I couldn't sleep for more than an hour.
You were able to dial back the Red Bulls today.
And then watch Raw and talk with you guys. So
That's right.
done,
Yeah.
nailed it.
From
I mean, that's why I'm able to be on tonight's show. Unfortunately, I have to go back to work next week. So until probably the new year, I might not be around as much.
so this guys, this might be the last time you see CJ on a Raw show until the Netflix era begins.
Is that why
You'll
is that why
just-
they're saying it's gonna be a big episode on Netflix just because CJ is coming back?
Potentially.
You know it.
Holy
You know
shit!
it.
I gotta
Woo,
sit
woo,
down.
woo.
I gotta sit down. I'm overwhelmed.
I'm just.
You're already sitting down.
Am I though?
I can see the part of your chair in front of your green screen. I just heard the chair squeak.
Did you hear me give it a shit?
What?
Did I what?
Did you hear me give it a dab?
Oh my God. I'm
no.
directing this show back to Raw right now. Backstage, Kofi Kingston was approaching R-Truth, and Kofi was apologizing to R-Truth for not helping him last week due to... And he just started throwing Xavier Woods under the bus. And then Xavier Woods, watching this all from behind, breaks into the conversation and splits it up. Guys, I'm really enjoying... evil Xavier Woods lurking in wait to turn on Kofi.
I love this. Like, this is one of my favorite stories that that's on Raw right now. They have taken this to a level that nobody thought that the New Day would go. Like Xavier Woods, Kofi Kingston, they've been saying for years, we are never going to turn on each other. And, you know, they kind of telegraphed that they might not even make it to their 10-year celebration in a couple weeks. And this is a pretty good example of why. They have told an awesome story with the New Day that we've never seen before, and I think that's why it's so gripping for me.
And they really had to do something with it because, like we've talked about, they just kind of languished there for about a year or so, not really doing a whole lot, just kind of in and out. They also kind of dealt with injuries on and off, both of them. But yeah, this has been a really good angle and a different kind of side of Xavier Woods that he's been able to show with this.
It's fantastic. Like I know we've seen New Day as heels before, like when they were first starting out,
Right.
but this feels different, you know, like it feels more personal because we've known them as the bright, colorful tag team for so long.
Yeah.
See, I've said this about 1 billion times on our beloved podcast here. Wouldn't it be messed up if like Kofi actually turned instead of Xavier? Like it'd be out of the blue.
Quite the misdirection. It has, I mean, other than, you know, New Day's like beginning, you know, their beginning as a heel, has Kofi ever really worked heel?
Not that I can think of.
No. I think since his debut to. He might have on the Independents, and but as far as his WWE career goes, I don't think so.
Yeah. So I mean, that would be just wildly different for him to be like a hard line, brutal heel. That'd be something to see too. So it's either I think I'd kind of prefer that, honestly. And part of that is I think, I don't know, as a singles competitor, Kofi's already been there, so he can do it. And I don't know if they're going to push Xavier Woods to that kind of level after that kind of split.
You don't think so? Because I think if I'm Xavier Woods, betting the New Day on a potential singles run, I don't think that's a gamble. Well, one I'd be willing to make anyways.
Right, yeah. I don't... I like Xavier Woods, but I don't know how much he can carry as a solo act.
I'm sorry, but if he goes heel, I might start giggling hard. I'm just saying.
Is it going to because he's almost too happy-go-lucky and cute to be angry? Is it kind of that thing? Kind of how I feel about Finn Balor half the time, where it's you're too happy. I know you're so nice.
He reminds me of somebody. I've told you two about this off stream, that they try to act hard, they try to act tough and angry, but then halfway through their speech, they say something really stupid, and you're like, okay, stop. And so I feel with Xavier is he's gonna be like, I'm gonna wreck your day and take your title, this and that. And you're like, okay.
That's how I feel about the Miz when the Miz tries to get all serious and mean and angry.
But at least
Miz, you're so mad. Look at you.
The Miz can do work and he'll step in for whatever craziness he needs, i.e. something tonight. So I don't see Xavier doing that, but we'll see. Waiting time. We're waiting. But this match that we should get into.
This segment did set up for later in the night for Kofi Kingston and Pete Dunne. Which R-Truth told Kofi, good luck with Pete. It's Butch you got to worry about.
Ooh, yeah, I remember that.
But
R-Truth is still awesome. I don't care. If no one takes him seriously as a threat in the ring because of his character, he's just so goddamn funny.
You almost want to say if they did a character or a segment where he gets killed off, the internet would be shook. The IWC should be, let's just say, would be shook.
Shook to its core.
Oh yeah.
But Kairi Sane, Io Sky, and Dakota Kai returning, taking on Sonya Deville, Shayna Baszler, and Zoe Stark. Pure Fusion Collective.
Don't call them
Damage
that.
Control. That's what their name is. Damage Control wins in just about 9 minutes. This was a fun 6-woman tag. I enjoyed this a lot more than the main event tonight. I'll say that.
That's the sad part.
Well, and it was good seeing Dakota Kai back in the ring, and I think part of that feeling was what made that investment into the match mean more.
No, what I'm saying, I say sad, is this match was better and it wasn't the main event, and it could have been, whereas the main event that was on didn't feel like a main event. That's what I'm saying.
Oh, I got you.
Yeah. If it was this match that main evented, shit, I would have planted my ass and been like, let's go. Let's freaking see some hard hits. The main event itself, holy moly. That was torture. Yeah. This match wasn't, though. This match was awesome.
This was a good time. But from that match, we went back to the backstage area where we had Jey Uso and Sami Zayn having a conversation. Jimmy Uso walked up. And I really enjoyed the interplay between Sammy and Jimmy here. They had a lot of fun back and forth dialogue. Again, every element of the OG bloodline, it works so well. These guys clearly have a lot of camaraderie and a good time working together, and it was fun. But they were discussing how they need to find a 5th person for their 5-on-5 War Games match. But guys, what you think of this backstage segment tonight?
the urge right now to look up spoilers is killing me.
Don't do it.
No, I'm not gonna. I'm just saying, like, because you have on the one side you got the Usos, Roman, and then was it Zayn is the fourth now? You're saying?
Yeah.
To be the fifth, I'm like, who could it be? Because we know who the four is on the Bloodline 2.0. It's The Weeknd and Tamatonga, Tongaloa, and Jacob Fatu. But it's like, who could be the fifth on both teams? And again,
Well, I mean, it is worth
spoilers.
saying that Jey Uso did say that they don't have any friends on Monday night. They don't have any friends on Friday. So I don't know. It's hard. And they did play a couple background shots tonight. We'll talk about here, but you did very quickly see Rey Mysterio talking to. I don't remember, was he talking to Sammy or Jay? One of them. It's getting late here, guys.
It's tomorrow.
Yeah, not quite yet, but we're getting there. Excuse me. But yeah, I don't know. Again, without looking up the spoilers, I don't know. There's a lot of directions it could be. I was a little surprised that they were actually pushing it to the 5. It could have worked just on the 4-on-4, really. You didn't really need to do it this way. But
see, the only thing you can think of, and again, I didn't look it up. I've been sitting here this whole time talking. Is one of two things: either A, someone's coming back from an injury, or B, somebody's debuting. The only two thoughts I can think of. But that's just my 2 cents. We gotta wait till next week, where everyone will show up to next week and sit down and talk with us about the episode.
Or they'll read the spoilers in between and then come to hear what we have to say about it.
They'll come here only.
Hey, I don't care if they read the spoilers and don't watch Raw as long as they tune into this, quite frankly. So,
You know what's sad is I actually agree with that 100%.
Oh, yeah.
CJ's here too next week.
I won't be.
Colin sick.
But after that segment, we headed back into our next match on the card. We had Kofi Kingston with his still friend Xavier Woods for the time being, taking on Pete Dunne, formerly Butch. This match went just about 9 minutes. Pete Dunne got the win after a miscommunication between Xavier Woods and Kofi Kingston. Pretty solid work here, again, furthering the story and issues between Kofi and Xavier. But, gentlemen, what did you think of this match?
I have one, I guess you could call it beef or gripe, and it's not even with the actual show.
What's your beans, sir?
My feed cut, or it kind of lagged. So all of a sudden, I just saw, Pete Dunne in the ring, and I was like, what the hell is this? I didn't see, this, chunk of the match. So I had to rewind back, then rewatch forward, and I'm like, man, this is starting to get on my nerves. So that's just my 2 cents on that.
First world problems.
Hashtag. Or as us older folks call it, pound sign.
There you go.
Oh man, that's terrible.
When hashtags first became a thing, that actually did confuse me. I'm like, why is everyone writing pound signs before what they're putting?
You gotta put hashtag @ sign. There you go.
Stop that.
Break the internet some more.
CJ, what'd you think of this match tonight, man?
I really enjoyed this match. It was, 2 incredible wrestlers, at their best. Pete Dunne, his style versus the aerial offense of Kofi Kingston, they meshed together really well. I thought the storytelling here just phenomenal. Kofi Kingston refusing his longtime friend's help to win a match, and then to be pushed away before leaving ringside, especially heading into, as they've mentioned, the upcoming 10-year anniversary. I imagine Big E is going to be coming in for this episode. So if this is going to explode, then, how do we factor Big E into it?
I mean, I don't know if Big E can safely do anything physical. I mean, I know that he's had his checkups and everything's still kind of been up in the air regarding that. But whomever does go heel, if like he was someone that took a brunt and like took something that looked really nasty and like given his injuries and history and everything, that would be pretty effective in making someone a dastardly heel pretty quickly. I mean, that we're assuming that's where the blow up and the breakup happens, right?
I'd say
Is that
so.
too obvious? Is that too obvious?
Yeah. And whether it is Kofi turning on Woods or Woods turning on Kofi, I think Big E's gonna have to take a side, right?
Right.
Yeah. So if they do, or we get option C, they reconcile, they both turn heel.
Yeah, I was just gonna say that's a crazy offshoot we didn't think about.
Oh wow. Yeah. Then you actually have like a hardline heel New Day. Because like I don't know. I mean, do you guys agree that like it's not really the New Day without all three of them?
Oh yeah, 100%.
Oh yeah.
I
mean,
do something different for a while.
When they do that kind of thing with like music acts, where they have like here's the original like 4 members and a supporting member, it's weird. Like I'm not saying
okay. I mean, yeah, I've seen Kiss live 3 times. Once with the original 4 members, and then the other 2 was Paul and Gene, and then either Tommy Thayer and Hey, Tommy Thayer's a good guitar player.
Oh no, he's great. I've seen some stuff they've done with him, and it's amazing. Like the video footage.
But Kiss aside, yeah, we'll see what they do with it. I mean, there's some really cool directions they could go with it, but I mean, we're a couple weeks away from that, so God, I can't believe New Day's been an act for a decade.
I can't believe this is like the 1 year for our little show.
Coming up, guys. Coming up.
Here,
coming up. But from there, we went back to the backstage for a Judgment Day segment, and things are not looking good between Finn Balor and Dominic Mysterio here. A lot of friction between these two, and Liv struggling to keep the peace amongst the Judgment Day.
I am sensing another split on the horizon, and something is telling me it's Dom.
Dom's taking the group, or he's leaving?
I think he's gonna be the next one booted out of the group.
I don't think he'll be booted. I think he'll quit. He'll be so high on himself that he wants to leave.
Well, that would require him leaving Liv, wouldn't it? You think he's got the cojones to leave?
No,
Liv?
I think he'll be like, "You're coming with me."
I don't think she would go.
Yeah,
I
she's
think
got
that
a whole crew she's running now. She's not going to give that up.
Exactly. And again, for long-term storytelling, do you remember the whole hotel key card thing?
Yeah.
I think that's going to turn out to be one of those moments where they were like, oh, they have been, hooking up this whole time.
Yep. Agreed.
And I think this is going to be where Dom gets booted out of the group because it's Finn and Liv that are going to be doing it.
Damn.
You heard it here first, guys. CJ called it. So
or I'm talking out of my ass and have no idea what I'm talking about. One or the other.
I'm taking the former on that. I think you're calling it plot point for plot point.
I'm just gonna be here.
I mean, we'll see how it goes, but
it's pretty solid concept.
I've said it once. I've said it 100 times. WWE, hit me up.
Do it. But from that backstage segment, we had Big Bronson Reed making his way to the ring to call out Seth Rollins. So clearly, still a lot of bad blood between these two. Seth very quickly came out, and they had a brawl and a scuffle, and Bart, scuffle ended. This led to Seth Rollins yelling at Adam Pearce that he needs the match. He wants the match. He knows what he wants. He wants it again. And Pearce said, yes, fine. You've had enough. Next week, the last time. So we're going to run it back one more time. Seth freaking Rollins taking on Big Bronson Reed next week. Guys, I've loved this this program with him. It's been a blast. I said this last week, or not last week. I wasn't here last week, but week before last. I love what they've done with Bronson Reed with this. This is how you book Bronson Reed. It's so entertaining. He's a monster. It's great. It's a kaiju.
Now, he got released in Vince McMahon's WWE and was brought back when Triple H took over. Can you imagine the Bronson Reed that we would be getting under Vince McMahon's WWE?
He'd have one name, a shittier intro, and a worse song.
He would be the Funkasaurus Jr.
No, he'd be Reed. He'd be Reed or Bronson.
Probably Bronson.
No,
but...
he'd be Bronson. We can't call him Reed. That's what nerds do.
He's Big Bronson.
It's not. No, it'd be just Bronson. Remember, just one name.
No.
Here he is. He's Bronson.
Well, I mean, because we certainly wouldn't have Braun Strowman, Bronson Reed, and Braun Breaker all over. So. Braun, and Brawny.
That's a TV show.
Ed and Eddie.
Eddie. But so after Seth got the match that he wanted, he was approached by Sami Zayn, and Sami Zayn was pleading with him to be the fifth man. And he made his case, and Seth just genuinely said, "You're out of your damn mind. Not going to happen." He worked so hard to get that tyrant Roman Reigns out of power. So he's not to be the fifth man here. Didn't think he would.
But I thought about it, and really, Rollins would make the perfect fifth man.
Yeah, I mean, it would make a fit. It would make a fit, but it was the boo though that Seth got when he basically refused the offer.
Well, yeah, because I mean, I was very excited for that potential, and but this. We'll get into it later on, because Seth Rollins' night, as far as the Bloodline is concerned, isn't over, but I hope they don't do this thing where he says no, but will eventually end up saying yes. I know there's spoilers out there. I haven't looked at anything, but what they've done, they've done that a lot lately, and it feels like they're dipping to this story well a little too often.
I agree with that. You don't want to hit the same note that many times, you know.
I gotta
they just did it with Cody Rhodes and Roman Reigns.
Yeah, exactly. And then they had the whole meeting in the football field, and
that was weird. See, I've got a weird one for you guys, actually. What if somehow, because ever since that first time I saw them together, 2 weeks ago now, I think it was 2 Raws ago, where the episode ended and Sammy was talking with Solo. What if that was a foreshadow of something for Survivor Series that we don't know about? Could that be? Wonder.
Certainly possible.
Just what my brain's been thinking about that ever since that episode when they, he's like, Zeus, and then he's seen in the distance by the vehicle talking. So,
well, what kind of something are you thinking?
Maybe Sammy's planning to help them out, kind of thing. Anything is possible. We still have time. Anything can happen.
Him with the old "anything is possible" on the WWF line, right?
Oh, speaking of, there was a guy in the front-ish row. I don't know what section, but it was camera side, and he had a sign saying "Get the F back."
Why not? Let's do it. It's time. It's been long enough. We need it.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh gosh.
Your move, World Wildlife Foundation.
Main event at WrestleMania.
A panda taking on
Big Bronson Reed.
Big Bronson Reed fighting
on a ladder. There you go.
Biggest ratings in history of anything.
Massive draw. Kevin Owens would be livid. Fun fact about KO: his favorite animal in the whole wide world is.
Yeah, I heard about that.
Yeah,
he had a T-shirt.
Zoo enthusiast.
Yes.
Oh man, that was one of the few Kevin Steen shirts I never bought for some reason. I just couldn't. It was modeled to look like a John Cena shirt, if I recall that one correctly. But zoo enthusiast Kevin Steen.
Even just like Kevin Owens has a panda shirt.
I was unaware of that. I was going all the way back to the Steen days for that one.
Yeah, I can't remember if it was just before or around COVID, but it was something to the effect of like the panda hat was in the T-shirt graphic, and then just the text also pandas.
Also pandas. He loves pandas. He really does. But our next match on the card here we have this evening, moving on from pandas. Panda. Damian Priest and Ludwig Kaiser going one-on-one with just about 8 minutes. They made mention of Damian Priest's new entrance theme that he's got here. I do apologize for not knowing the name, but the lead guitarist of Slayer doing the guitar work on this. And I was also unaware that South of Heaven was a Slayer song. So
it's kind of funny because I don't think Slayer's actually together anymore. I think it's like Kerry King doing his own project.
Caesar, our resident metal expert.
I wouldn't call it expert, just smart ass.
Well, you know more than I do, so. Cool song though. I feel like we're starting to get back on track with some of these entrance themes.
And
so
that's
good.
That's what we need. Is like, I'm pretty sure all three of us and a lot of our viewers here tonight could easily go and spend like 10, 15 minutes and go, this song right here by this band would fit Damien or anybody particular. Like I can already find 3 easily right now, whether it's rap, rock, hip hop, country, anything but teen. So it's good that we're doing that finally.
Yeah, we're heading in a good direction now.
A lot less deaf.
But the match itself, really solid work. I mean, it's what you would expect from Damian Priest and Ludwig Kaiser. Priest, like I said, picking up the win there in just about 8 minutes with a South of Heaven. Good work here. Afterwards, Gunther stepped out and stared Priest down. So looking forward to that match. Obviously, I think that the Ring General will be walking out of Survivor Series with the World Heavyweight Championship.
But it's going to be a
match nonetheless.
Yeah, it's going to be a lot of slapping and chopping and ooh.
That'll be good.
How close do you think that match is going to be?
Well, I'm thinking the only way that that Damien's gonna take it off of Gunther is if Ludwig costs him. That's what I'm thinking.
You think he would?
I mean, like that's the only way we could do it. That would keep Gunther looking strong.
But Gunther's not looking strong at the moment right now, anyways.
True.
No, yeah. So, but I'm just saying, like that's the normal thought process. If they're gonna take it off of him, it's got to be that in that way to keep him strong, not just like, oh, lost the belt, done.
So. I don't think they'd pull it off of him anyway,
but if it's to further this story of shaken confidence, then that could be the next natural step in that story progression.
And it's, I will say it's interesting doing a shaken confidence angle with a heel. It's normally something you would do with a face.
Yeah.
But
like-
because he's always come across as a sort of confident character, and the fact that they've kind of been booking a little more in these layered character work, I think that's natural to do it for faces and heels.
Mhm. Yeah, that's true. That's true. It's the human condition, guys. It's the human condition.
Yep.
Yeah, but and I want to mention too before we get away from this segment, Damian Priest's reaction from the crowd is phenomenal right now.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, he's incredibly over right now. What's up?
Hello, Swamp Enchantress.
Hola.
Was that said? Yeah, Swamp Enchantress. I read that right.
Proud of you.
For reading, thank you. From there, we'll hop back to the backstage area where Kathy Kelly was talking to Braun Breaker, who was talking about having to wanted to win the speed title. Because that's still a thing, huh?
They should just host that
Still doing
damn
that.
title on TikTok. It'd be appropriate.
I really got a kick out of him saying I could be standing here with 2 titles, and I'm like, no, you can't.
No, you
it can't be on
Because they don't
TV,
show it on
dork.
Raw.
No, I've seen them show it once. That was like a quick one-off thing, I think.
Oh, did
Unless
they?
I was
Yeah.
tripping. It might have
I
been
don't recall
once,
that.
but I could be hallucinating. I don't know.
No, I don't think they have. That might have been like flashback footage.
That might have been it.
Yeah, they're seemingly very ashamed of that championship, but they still
No,
mention it on Raw all the time.
It's such good shit that they'll never show on Raw.
No, that never happening.
No.
But yeah, he blamed Sheamus for him not being speed champion, and Sheamus interrupted him and pointed out that he's been there for 15 minutes while Sheamus himself's been there for about 15 years. But looking like we're going to be getting So what are you feeling here, guys? Sheamus, Braun Breaker.
Skip.
I am interested in how much, not interested, but I wonder how much longer they're. Okay, that's not what I mean.
Look at the time.
Okay, okay. I'm not saying I'm not interested. What I'm saying is
This is a story.
I wonder how much longer they're going to kind of push Sheamus on this. The Intercontinental Championship is the only title I haven't gotten yet. That becomes a tired story very quickly, and they've done this about 3 times now. I think this is the 3rd time they've done it.
I wonder if they keep doing it because they're like, hey, people will believe he might actually do it this time. It's like, I don't think they will. They just put that belt back on Braun.
Yep.
Unless I understand the purpose of sometimes having titles shift back and forth a little more quickly, but I don't want us to hop back into an Attitude Era level of hot titles.
You don't want to do the era of the Sasha Banks Charlotte Women's hot potato wing belt. That one either.
Hot potato.
Hot potato.
So I
boy.
they wouldn't do that, but yeah, CJ, you're right. They've gone back to this well with Sheamus a few times.
Let's just skip it.
So, but I mean, credit to Braun Breaker. He is just doing a tremendous job.
He doesn't
He
need the
is-
stupidity.
He is fantastic on the mic. I bust out laughing when he's like, I'm sorry, I didn't hear a word you just said. His timing is incredible, and he backs up his ability to trash talk in the ring. It's
wild to me because if I didn't know that he was Rick's kid, I would think he's Scott's kid.
That's true too.
He really embodies so much of all of the best aspects of what Scott Steiner did
And the
as a
tattoo.
solo act. He takes all the best parts of that, and I feel like doesn't fall into as many of the pitfalls that Scott did. He's a great character, but he's more coherent, if that makes sense. Scott Steiner was always a blast to listen to, but it didn't always make sense. And that was part of the beauty of it, of course. But Braun makes sense all the time. He's good. I feel like this is actually who he is. Actually, you know what? Unless he was like playing a character on the episode of Lost Treasures on A&E that he was on, this is who he is. And he does a good job at it. I just imagine that Thanksgiving at the Steiner's house involves like literal fighting.
Considerable amounts of trash talk.
Give me enough turkey.
Like it's probably they have to bring in a new table every single year at the Steiner household because it gets broken.
Two,
one for the kids.
no, one for dinner, one for dessert.
There we go. All the pie game. They would have a whole pie.
They're not even actual good tables either. They're just like crap, like plywood tables.
Just get them from under the ring. That's where they get them.
Actually, not like last week.
But before this segment ended, Jimmy Uso approached Braun Breaker asking if he had a second to talk. Breaker said he did. And then from there, we had CJ's least favorite segment of the night, the crowd signs.
We have them ready on the. We have them on the ready. Oh.
No, of course not. It was a dumb segment. None of the signs were that inspired or good. It was like Yeet Rapids, I think. That doesn't work. Like, you can't just throw yeet into shit and have it be clever.
Monday Night Yeet.
Stop it.
Yeah.
Yeet Night.
No,
Night Wrestling.
nothing will ever top Wade Barrett shouting "yeeting good in the neighborhood."
I don't
Nothing
know.
will ever beat that.
The funniest ones I've seen was that short stint when people kept making up shout out to the AEW crew I'm part of, where we had to see those signs that were all Kazuchika Okada signs. Those were the best ones for that like
they were kind of running back the old Chuck Norris bits.
They were great though. Those were good signs.
That dropped off really quickly, which is a damn shame.
But they were so good though.
They were very fun.
We don't want Yeet Rapids, sorry.
No, Yeet Rapids dumb. Be more
So
clever, fans.
yeah.
Come on. Be better.
Tune into our show.
Be good. Yeah. That's how you get better. That's how you get good with umlauts.
Wow.
After the just hideously unfun sign segment, we had God, CJ, they were just like wailing on you back to back here with these segments, buddy. We had our final testament segment of the night. Karrion Kross approached the Miz backstage. The Miz very shaken up, looking all freaked out. And he's like, hey, thank God you're alive. Which, just again, the running joke that Karrion Kross does not care if Michael Mizanin lives or dies.
Well, and it's interesting that you say kind of predicting how I reacted to this segment. You must not have been watching last week. I actually full out said on air that I was kind of getting to favor Karrion Kross now.
Yep,
I'm starting to like him.
I remember
this
that.
This is what happens. I run a fever. See, now, even if I'd watched the show last week, I probably would have questioned it. Due to the fever, I'd be like, no, this is not reality.
I was ducked when I wasn't sick.
Now, and bear no mind, I'm not full 180 on Karrion Kross. All I'm saying is I'm starting to evolve my opinion of him.
Ooh. I mean,
and it didn't take NXT to do it. Normally, to turn us around with a wrestler, it takes NXT.
CJ, you didn't get yourself
They had him appear on NXT a couple times, and Tyler, you remember my reaction.
You were excited, weren't you?
It was not good.
Not at all.
Negative reaction. But yeah, I will say the addition of the Miz into this has given it a little extra oomph and pop here. And the Miz was playing absolutely terrified very well here, saying that he was going to go talk to Adam Pearce. He's going to ask for a leave of absence. He doesn't want anything to do with this. He's lucky they let him go. He apologized. He's a changed man. Karrion wasn't buying it. Karrion ordered AOP to snatch him and take him out front. At what point did the Miz's eye start bleeding?
I don't know.
It had to be when he was getting dragged out by AOP.
Right? Like, looking like, the villain from Casino Royale over there, just crying tears.
Among other things.
That was wicked. They get him out to the ring. Karrion Kross is demanding to know where the Wyatt Six is. He wants information from the Miz. And like clockwork, the notes ring out. God, that Prime thing just ruins that shot.
Yeah, that ultimately
It
ruins
really
it.
does.
Jesus, screw you, Logan Paul. But for
one of many reasons, screw you, Logan Paul.
Fucking laundry list, you ass clown.
I mean, like, he's green screen that out or something.
Right?
Or
Because I'm covering with, and it's not looking. I'm covering my head.
Put our logo on top of it.
But the Miz, fearful. I actually did not see this coming. I'm going to be completely honest here. I thought the Miz was just going to duck and run. He swings a chair and takes down Eric Rowan.
The biggest guy in the yard.
Right? Fight ensues. I didn't actually see that coming. Miz missed on this one, though. He was
Did you
the
just
Miz.
say that?
The
Did you
Miz
just say
missed?
Miz missed it?
He missed it. He missed it hard.
You know, next week that Eric Rowan's going to kill him, right?
Possibly, yes. He might get kidnapped again.
Scarlett's going to save him, not Karrion.
Well, I think he's definitely under the protection of the AOP now.
Not Karrion.
Yeah.
Well, I mean specifically Final Testament in a sense. I wrote in my notes, this is the most entertaining Karrion Kross has ever been.
Whoa.
And I stand by that. Like, this was some very good heel work tonight. And this is what I mean. Like, I'm starting to kind of come around on this.
The thing is, like, in certain avenues, he can be very clever. You know, we always talk about how, like, funny his, Jesse Ventura impression is and such. But that segment that they recorded after Raw a couple weeks ago when the Miz got kidnapped.
When Miz got kidnapped. Yeah, we talked about that on the show last week.
It was hilarious. Like, we played that. I think somebody, like, sent it into the chat that night during the show, and we and watched him, but, like, it was hilarious. Just like his deadpan delivery. Oh, he's dead then.
Yeah.
Like, it was really funny, and it's just like, if they could just find a way to let Karrion Kross be however he is off screen, that's what they need.
He was hilarious in that segment, and Scarlett was terrible. I was trying to be nice about it.
Be nice.
So, would that then work better as a face character?
He's so funny and clever, but he really does walk a douche line. I would worry as a face. I don't know though. Like, he could be a face and still be kind of an ass. LA Knight does that.
Oh yeah.
Don't you mean? Oh yeah.
Yeah.
As soon as I said it, I knew you were going to call me out on it.
Said what?
I
just let it happen.
I haven't gotten a good yeah in for a while.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This was a well done segment. Miz got a Miz You Suck chant, very straightforward from the crowd. As soon as he swung that chair, it was immediate Miz You Suck. So the crowd was on.
He's going to be dead next week, so
he's already bleeding from the eye.
Eric Rowan's just going to put him through like a wall.
That'd be fantastic, though. That'd be fantastic. But after the in-ring segment, we hopped into the parking lot garage, or the parking lot garage. Sorry, guys, it's about midnight.
Well, dangerous spot apparently.
Yeah, well, it's not the NXT parking lot. That's the most dangerous place in the professional wrestling universe. But Kathy Kelly was talking to Seth, asking how he planned to take down Big Bronson Reed next week. and he was approached by Solo Sikoa and Jacob Fatu. And Jacob and Solo, especially Solo, was looking more and more pleased the more Seth ran down Roman Reigns. You're talking about how he never teamed with Roman Reigns. If he ever gets in the ring with Roman again, it's just going to be to stomp his head into the ground. But he would also never join forces with a wannabe Roman Reigns that looks like The Weeknd. He didn't say anything about The Weeknd. That was for Caesar. But yeah, solid segment here again. So Seth Rollins, he is a man unto himself at this point.
I know I talked about it earlier, but the idea that this is just going to kind of motivate Solo to now retaliate against Rollins, which will motivate Rollins to join Team Roman. And they've done this again. This is a story that they've written quite a lot lately. So trying to do this in a way that if they do decide that Rollins is actually the fifth man, I think what they have to do is something different to get him on the team.
I mean, do you think there's any chance that they're using this to completely just subvert your expectations and go with someone that's it's not even mentioned tonight? And obviously, I'm not looking at the spoilers, guys. I refuse to do it. So I know the information is out there. So we're speaking as though that taping did not happen right now. But do you think they can go a completely different direction?
Without trying to delve too much into spoiler territory, I know you're avoiding them, but if anyone knows, was it specifically one team or both?
That is a good question.
Because
it was one team.
Okay,
so there is still some mystery up in the air there on that, but I maybe read too much into Jay saying that they don't have any friends on Monday night or Friday night, and to me that said that it's either someone who's not currently there, and I can't imagine who the hell from NXT they'd pull. So but specifically saying that there's no one on Monday or Friday that he felt they could go to. Even though they asked half a dozen people tonight after that, but
this might be. Oh no, that wouldn't. Never mind. I was thinking because Ava is the NXT general manager, having that bloodline connection might get a tag team partner from NXT, but I can't imagine the final boss's daughter would be too willing to help the people going against Solo if The Rock is indeed kind of footing Solo's bill, so to speak.
I like it. Hey guys, they took a nice long break from all the Bloodline stuff, and it was long enough that this is really fun and exciting again. Cinema. But guys, that takes us back up to tonight's main event, which we discussed at the top of the show. So I asked before we hop around into our jobbers and megastars of the night, was there anything about tonight's program that we didn't touch on that you would like to discuss?
The advertisement for WWE Deadline.
Yeah. Both times they showed that tonight. They did. It had the WWE logo instead of the NXT logo. What do you make of that, CJ? You were the one that saw that first.
I hope it's just a marketing error that, the wrong X got signed on the wrong piece of paper or whatever that authorized this. I hope that it will be corrected as early as tomorrow.
I was gonna
in
say
time
tomorrow will
for
probably tell us.
Yeah.
If they're still using it tomorrow, then I don't know. I don't even know why they would do that.
but
I think someone just
also
screwed up.
but also think back, because when Ava was talking about it on Tuesday, did she say NXT deadline
I don't know. I'd have to.
or
Well,
Wednesday? Sorry.
Yeah, I'm not sure. Because I mean, do you think there's a possibility that they're going to start referring to NXT as WWE NXT, same as WWE Raw, WWE SmackDown?
I hope not.
Doesn't sound the
'Cause-
same.
No, it does
No.
not. No, it doesn't. It really doesn't. So we'll
Like-
see. Hopefully tomorrow, the NXT logo is present on the deadline ad. But
I just think
find out.
someone was like, okay, we need to get this ad out now, but they forgot to change it. They're like, we'll just change it later. That's what I'm thinking.
hey, the college interns don't always get their credit. Okay, sometimes
They're not getting
sometimes-
the ramen soup tonight. They
Oh,
screwed up.
No ramen.
Nope.
Too much sodium anyway, guys. Come on.
Come on, spicy ramen's good.
I'm not saying it's not. It's good shit, pal.
That's good shit.
But yeah, solid program. It felt a little rushed in spots, but that's kind of been an ongoing problem they've had since going to the 2-hour format. Looking forward to the Netflix era coming up very, very soon. But guys, I think that can take us in to tonight's Jobbers of the Night for Raw on November the 11th, 2024. By the way, happy 13th anniversary to Skyrim today, by the way. So 11/11/11 when that was released. But tonight's Jobbers of the Night. Who would like to take point on the Jobber of the Night tonight?
You can go ahead, Caesar, if you want.
Okay. I don't have a name for this person or people in charge of this, but I will just say it because my brain hurts from this. But whoever the hell's in charge of the last segment of the night, like you had like it literally felt like someone was in gorilla position. It was like, young lady, are you busy? Go to the ring. Are you busy? Go to the ring. Honey, put that down. Go to the ring. That's what I felt like they were doing. So whoever's in charge of that, because it literally just felt like everyone was just like running down the ramp. They could have easily saved that for like the last week or so before the PLE. So that's my jobber. What about you, CJ?
I don't really have one, to be honest. There wasn't anybody that really stood out to me as not doing their job. Like the well polished machine that they've got on, these stories that they've been running for months. And nothing really, again, stood out to me as particularly egregious.
I know.
So
I know
I don't really have a jobber.
I know
That's
you can
fair.
say. Whoever the hell was in charge of putting that stupid Prime display ringside.
I mean, possibly whoever put the WWE logo on the deadline spot. But I can agree with Caesar a little bit there too. That last segment was a cluster. I don't know how that was booked that way.
If it was
like
booked.
I said, it felt like the last 5 minutes of a Thunder. It wasn't well done. But hey, not every ending can be fantastic. But yeah, but CJ, I kind of fall between you and Caesar on this. I really didn't feel like anybody fell down that hard tonight. I just didn't really like the way the last segment ended. I feel like they also didn't give enough time to the main event. It started kind of late, but then again, they really don't put Jade Cargill into long matches right now. So
They don't.
they don't. But hey, that is going to shoot us right into tonight's Megastars of the Night. This is always much happier, much more exciting. The Megastars of the Night. Guys, Damian Priest.
Yeah?
Damian Priest. I
Solid.
think he is absolutely hitting his stride with this character again. This is the Damian Priest that we all, I think, agreed we wanted, and we're getting to see right before he lost that damn world title. So I'm here for it. I think he smoked Gunther on the mic tonight, and maybe that's not a completely fair thing to say because obviously Gunther is playing a little withdrawn and shaken up right now. So obviously he wasn't going to get those verbal barbs in, but he just performed so well on the microphone tonight. The reaction he's getting from the audience, and even getting able to get the audience to rev back up after his match. When Gunther came down and stared him down, he did that, babyface rally around the ring, and the crowd lit up for it. He's got a good alpha babyface thing going right now, and even after the loss to Gunther, I really, really hope they can keep it going forward this time, because this is the Damian Priest that I want to see week after week on Raw. It's a character I'm excited to watch, and I want to know what good deeds and heroic things this version of Damian Priest is going to do going forward. That's my megastar tonight.
What do you feel about the sort of they allude to Dominic kind of interfering in Priest's world title match?
If that's how Damian loses and they transition into a Damian Priest Dominic Mysterio program, I'd be okay with that. Because one, that's an easy cheer boo scenario, especially if you're really, really trying to get Damian established as I'm really hoping mainstay, top echelon babyface on Raw. That's a great program. He's going to get just cheered so wildly out of that. Dom's going to get booed no matter what. I like that. Also, Dominic can take an ass beating, and you want that, because obviously you're not going to have Damian Priest knock Gunther pillar to post. It's going to be a very even fight in terms of physicality. He'll be able to just throw Dominic wherever he wants to go, and Dominic will move like a rag doll, and it's going to look just vicious. Think Peter Griffin broken at the bottom of the stairs. It's going to be great. So I can absolutely go for that.
But it really just brings it back to Damian Priest versus the Judgment Day.
Yeah.
That's what we end up coming back to. Finn Balor winds up getting involved again, or Carlito or JD.
Maybe they don't. Maybe that's how they get Dom out. They're just like,
that could be it too.
Like you keep fucking with him, and this is what happens. Like,
perfectly valid. Part of the other motivation that I'm thinking for Liv Morgan brings it back to the revenge tour. She still wanted revenge on Rhea Ripley, so she stole Dominic, and I think the final nail in that coffin is going to be, I didn't care about him all along.
Yep. And Liv can keep on sailing as a heel. Although, hopefully they can keep her keep that heel momentum going, because whenever she does oust Dominic Mysterio and break up with him, that's going to get a pop.
100%.
No one's going to have sympathy for Dom. No sympathy for
Not
Dom.
even close.
None. That mustachioed ass hat.
Amen to that, sister.
But yeah,
I think my megastar is going to be both members of the New Day. They have done some amazing storytelling from pillar to post with this. When will they, if they sort of angle who's going to turn on who, why are they fighting? I think they are taking the New Day and pushing it to its limit, because they just need to do something. I think that was really what led to the Usos breaking up. One, yes, it was compelling for the Bloodline story overall, but it ended up bringing them together. Two guys that were kind of they both got better as individuals and then came back. And I hope that might be where the New Day's headed.
I think so. This has been really good for them. And when you have these long-term characters, you have to make drastic changes from time to time. Otherwise, you're not going to have that longevity. I know a lot of people aren't hot on what he's doing currently. But, Chris Jericho is a great example of that generally in his career, of being able to take his persona and change it up and still be Chris Jericho, but a different version of that. And this keeps that career going. And my God, they've been New Day for a very, very long time in this iteration. And I don't know what I want them to do. You guys have talked me into wanting various different things out of this angle now, and I don't know what I want, which is good, because that means pretty much no matter what they do, I'll probably be happy with it.
So
Like,
weird.
if Kofi's the heel, cool. If Xavier's the heel, awesome. If they're both heels, holy shit, that'd be something. Like,
And if they say the same faces, then it's like, oh, well, then
okay,
what the hell is this all
disappoint me a
about?
little. Yeah, that would
Well,
disappoint
exactly.
me. Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
So there is an avenue that I would be not happy with, but I agree with you, man. CJ, they're doing great work right now. I do want to see Kofi as a heel. I really do. What do you think, Molly?
Blink twice for yes.
Her eyes are enormous. Her buggy chihuahua eyes.
Well, that's why I'm like, oh, when she blinks, it's noticeable.
Yeah, it is. The kids always ask, they're like, why are her eyes so big? I'm like, she's a chihuahua. Be nice. And they're like, she's not nice to us. She barks. I'm like, that's not the point, is it?
Caesar, did you give your megastar?
Nope.
Your megastar.
Well, you guys have been
Listen.
talking. I didn't want to be that guy who just jumps over everybody. Then,
Oh, hey, I
Molly's
mean,
good,
chime in, absolutely.
And we've been all bringing up pretty good points. So I'd be like, I'll let you guys go for it, because mine's a pretty short and sweet, and so is she. Megastar of the night is Io.
Oh.
She's getting very over. She's doing amazing spots with both now storylines, which is Damage Control and the possible women's War Games match. So I'm getting curious. And then, of course, shout out to the Dakota Kai for actually being back. And hopefully she's back for more than just like a month. Hopefully she's back like going forward.
She's good. She's going to stay healthy on it. No
That's what I'm saying. I want to see that. Not just, oh, great, she's gone in a month. It's like, man, it sucks.
Don't put that out in the universe. Don't put that out there, man.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying, though.
Good vibes only, Tony. Good vibes only.
Exactly.
Do it again, Tony. Do it again.
Do it again. But solid choices all around, gentlemen. Now, before we get into the closing procedures here tonight, I do have to thank, first of all, everyone tuning in and watching us live. But I want to remind you that while we do cover Monday Night Raw every single week, this is not the only thing we do. Wrestling never stops, and Dirt Sheet Radio is always on. We are here Monday nights for Raw. We are here Tuesday nights for NXT. Wednesday nights, you know what that means. It's AEW Dynamite. Thursdays are for TNA Impact. And, of course, Fridays are SmackDown. And if you're up really late on Wednesday nights and you want to check out the DSR flagship program, it happens late, guys. But it does happen every Wednesday night into the early morning hours of Thursday. Check it out in the morning. That's what I do. It's easier. Early morning commute. CJ and I are still trying to get our ish together to bring you the Weekly Wrestling Roundup. I need a look. We need a new graphic for that. We really do. But also happening on Sundays, the 3NT podcast. Check the guys out with that crisp graphic every single week. Fantastic, guys. It never stops. Real quick, guys, Caesar, where can they find you?
Well, as always, folks, I'm hanging out with these two fine gentlemen and Monday Night Molly on the Monday night show. And then, as always, hanging out with the crew over on AEW Dynamite on the Wednesday. If you want to talk to me on the social media, doesn't matter when, where, or just poke at me about wrestling things, you can find me anywhere and everywhere at YouTube. I named them all, but there's way too many to name. And we all want to go and continue on with our nights tonight. For example, CJ, where can we find you on social media?
Oh, I'm kind of reevaluating my social media strategy. So TBD as far as social media goes. But as far as Dirt Sheet Radio goes, hoping to be here Mondays going forward in the new year. NXT, hoping to be every Tuesday and potentially every Friday on the SmackDown Rewind as well.
Hell yeah. And
And
guys,
whenever we get our next show on Sundays off the ground, again, TBD.
Stay tuned, guys. And I, as always, am the Pro Wrestling Hipster. Check me out on Facebook, the Pro Wrestling Hipster, after you follow Dirt Sheet Radio. This is Little Molly Holly. Guys, thank you so much for tuning in live tonight. We will be back live tomorrow night for NXT. Have a wonderful night, everybody.
Yeet.
You